Hello and welcome to the PC Security channel. As you probably know by now, Windows 11 is coming, and with it, the promises of better security for Windows. At least that is what Microsoft stated during their official event on the 24th of June. Windows 11, the operating system for hybrid work and learning. And if we go down in here, you will see that there is a section about security, with advanced security from the chip to the cloud. Now, as you know, in the past, we've done several tests of the security with Windows 10, and it's not been great, typically against threats like ransomware. And the question is Windows 11 going to fix that? So I'm going to go over a few things here. So first of all, this states that Windows 11 is zero trust ready and secure by design, which is, debatable under some circumstances. Microsoft has their white paper on Zero Trust, and we can go through this for a brief overview of what they mean by it. I think there's a diagram in here somewhere, so there you go. You've got the different identities, and you can say Microsoft now allows multi-factor authentication and all of that. There is the security enforcement policy, and those have been getting better over the years with updates, especially with Windows 10. And there's threat intelligence that feeds into it. Microsoft, of course, now have Windows Defender as an ATP. And this is what a lot of companies are switching to. And they obviously have had UAC for quite a while. I think it was introduced back in when Vista. But the problem with Microsoft security measures is that they're too nuanced. Take UAC for example. Everyone is going to run an application with admin privileges at some point. So we quickly get into the territory of alert fatigue, where the user just clicks yes on every prompt. Now with Windows 11, one of the things I have noticed is that the UAC alerts are a bit different. So I've just grabbed a copy of auto runs, and now we're going to run it as administrator. And as you can see, we've got the new sound effects, of course, but we've also got a slightly different UAC since the beginning of Windows 10, where it just blurred the background. Now it's a completely different color background. I don't know how you feel about this, but my opinion is that it's not going to matter. Users will just be used to the beautiful blue of the ocean welcoming all the files to their system, and they'll just click yes. I get what they're trying to do. They're trying to get the user to actually read what's in the alert before they click yes, but I don't think that's a result of the background. The blur background is already quite intense. The point is, the user is just not going to be able to decide amid all the noise, because at the end of the day, we all need applications to run on our computer. Now, UAC aside, of course, we have the great Windows Defender, the antivirus, the endpoint protection solution, and again, in the past, we haven't seen great protection from threats like ransomware, especially in its default configuration. Now, if we take a look at Windows Defender on Windows 11, it doesn't look any different. On the face of it, at least, all the settings look exactly the same. One of the things I've noticed, and I'm not sure if this is new to Windows 11, but Windows Defender, the moment you start doing any task like extracting, doing any intense file system activity, the MP engine service really starts to take up a lot of CPU. Let's see where it's at right now. So at the moment, it's not doing too bad, 0.6%, 0.9%, but that's still not great. And the moment you start loading the system, this process starts taking up like 15-20% of the CPU. If you're into gaming or something like that, that may be quite annoying for you. Now, I've also taken a look at the group policies here, so we're going to quickly go into GPedit and see what we have. So Windows Defender Antivirus, not a lot has changed here either. So you have the usual exploit guard, the attack surface reduction rules, you have maps, which is their cloud feature, and then you have real-time protection with all the goodies that it had before. They do have behavior monitoring and file and program activity checks. These were introduced with updates on Windows 10, and they do remain with Windows 11. I've tried testing it with these turned on and off, and honestly, it hasn't made that much of a difference, at least in my tests. I know what you guys want. You guys want me to do a ransomware test right here, right now, but that's not what we're going to do. You have to wait until the official release for that, okay? So stay patient and subscribe to the channel if you want to watch that. We're definitely going to have Windows 11 versus ransomware. So going back to Microsoft's white paper, I think you get the theme. There's not a lot that's new with Windows 11 in terms of traditional threat defense. However, there is one thing that Microsoft has introduced, which is essentially an enforcement for the TPM chip. This is not going to make a massive difference to most home users, but it's what businesses might be concerned about. I believe Windows 11 now requires you to have the Trusted Platform Module version 2 to be able to even install it. For those that are not familiar, this is what the TPM chip essentially does. It's a cryptographic processor for the most part. And this may help with some of the exploits that we've seen, and in general, just better hardware security. But at the same time, this requirement may mean that your processor is just not going to be compatible for Windows 11. And a lot of businesses are going to have to upgrade their obsolete computers. Isn't that great? And now, a quick word from our sponsors. This video is brought to you by Tomorrow Unlocked by Kaspersky. This is a series of documentaries on all the topics that we often discuss on the channel, like hacking, future tech, cybercrime, open internet. They're also coming up with a brand new show called Build Me Someone to Love, which discusses the issue of intimate robotics.
Is it morally okay to kick a robotic dog? It doesn't have feelings, it can't feel pain, it's got no emotion.
A lot of fascinating stuff here, so please check out Tomorrow Unlocked using the link in the description. And now, back to the video. Beyond that though, I don't really see any massive changes here. Yeah, there's now an inbuilt password manager, hooray, like Apple's been doing for a long time now. And let's be honest, if you know anything about security, you already have a password manager. So maybe for the entry-level user, some of these features are going to mean slightly better security, but don't expect anything crazy in terms of the tests that we do here at the PC Security channel. I don't expect to see crazy improvements in protection against PUPs or ransomware. Those are much more the threat detection side of things and the detection engine side of things. And as far as I can see, unfortunately, it doesn't seem like there are a lot of improvements in those areas, which is a shame, really, because I was looking forward to maybe a revamp of Windows Defender, at least from the application side of things, because the way it works currently, the way it detects threats, just is not very efficient. Even from a UI perspective, it's really hard to even use it if you have multiple threats on the system. It grinds the system to a halt when it's working. So I was hoping that at least on the efficiency side of things, there may be some improvements to speak of. Maybe there are. Maybe we'll find that out when we do the testing. So wrapping this up, again, virus and threat protection remains mostly the same, which means you have your real-time protection, your cloud protection, but the real feature that will likely save you against ransomware is going to be the ransomware protection or the controlled folder access, and this is turned off by default still, so you have to go ahead and enable it. I do recommend doing this if you plan on using Windows Defender, because this is the only thing that has in the past protected our systems in our ransomware tests. The new UAC and TPM chip requirements may mean better security for some organizations, but it's hardly a leap forward. Now, there is another thing that's happening with Windows 11 that could have a huge impact on security that's not necessarily a security feature, and that is the Microsoft Store. Now, this is a double-sided coin. I'm not a fan of the Microsoft Store system in its current state, but it does look like Microsoft wants you to use this more and more to get your applications. Their presentation was really geared towards developers putting their apps in here. They made it clear they want to encourage developers to do that. They're even offering a 0% commission if you bring your own e-commerce system. And if this does start to happen a lot more with Windows, it is going to improve security for the average user if instead of going online searching for something then running an exe to install their program, people are just looking at the curated list of apps in the App Store like they do on Apple. I do like my ability to run my EXEs, but at the same time, if you think about your average user who just want to open the computer and look at their pictures or their PDFs, something like that may actually improve security for them and cut off some of the propagation methods for PUPs and those types of threats that still target the everyday user. Now, I did mention that Store was a double-edged sword, and that is because Microsoft Store can now run apps for Android, and that brings with it the whole world of Android malware to PC. So hey, maybe we'll finally see Android security tests on the PC Security channel, yay! Some of the demos showed people using TikTok on their computer, and I'm like, God, no, nobody asked for this. But there you have it, those are my initial thoughts on Windows 11 and its security features. Let me know yours in the comments down below. Do you think Windows 11 is zero trust ready? How do you feel about the new GUI? I mean, honestly, I don't hate it as much as some people do. I think the center design kind of makes some sense. And as long as Start remains functional and they don't break everything like they do in a lot of updates, I actually don't hate it. Again, opinions vary, so let me know yours in the comments below. Please like and share the video if you enjoyed it. Thank you so much for watching. This is Leo from the PC Security channel, and as always, stay informed, stay secure.